Hi, I'm Kim Cook from Bread of Life Mission, and I'm here doing Conversations on a Bench. Yes, I'm going to stay here all night. I'm going to sleep on this bench, or I'm going to try. And yes, it's cold. But we've got some heaters. I've got a blanket or two, so we'll be okay. But for right now, I have an interview with Andrea Suarez. Andrea is with We Heart Seattle, and I'm just excited to talk to her today. So, Andrea, tell us what We Heart Seattle is.
Thank you for having me. And yes, we are in Seattle in this beautiful historic Pioneer Square, and myth busting that it always rains in Seattle. We've had a very cold, sunny January, so glad to be here. We Heart Seattle is a grassroots organization that mobilizes volunteers citywide to clean up all of the abandoned encampment trash, debris that we see in our parks, our slopes, our underpasses. And naturally, we interact with people that are experiencing homelessness, drug addiction, and untreated mental health. And so part of our program is to connect people to resources. And to date, we've helped more than 250 people off the streets to sustainable long-term pathways to reaching independence. And we really pride ourselves on not just pointing a person to a cot for the evening, because those are pretty readily available. We love what you guys do here at the mission, but to talk about drug addiction, untreated mental illness, and substance abuse use disorder. So we really use that trash waste management as a form of harm reduction to reach people where they're at and build trust with that type of unique olive branch.
Yeah, so you started out just trying to clean up because you love Seattle.
Yep.
And then you ended up getting into these relationships with people, and you've built a staff. You're pretty small.
We met my two leads. I met both in a park, and they were homeless and addicted at the time, and they are now full-time, clean and sober, into housing, and my full-time case managers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so how I don't even know, like, how often do you guys go out and do cleanups and all that?
We have organized more than 400 cleanups, and we try to average about one a week. We just did one on Martin Luther King Day, of course, for our day of service, and not a day off, but a day on. We average about 10 to 15,000 pounds of trash removed a month.
Wow.
And yeah, that is our program, is to be a volunteer platform. Corporate serve days, Seattle Municipal Court partners with us for people who need to divert court fees. And really what we're most proud of is really co-mingling different people from all walks of life, and really breaking down those barriers where maybe homeless are othered or stigmatized or misunderstood, and deinstitutionalize kind of their life by bringing folks into their world and saying, we're here to help, pick up the trash, participate if you want. And people are like, wow, what compels y'all to pick up my needles, my trash, my garbage? They're a little embarrassed, but they're also like giving a hand up, because we have a basic needs stipend program where we provide gas cards or runs to the supermarket or pay a cell phone bill or a storage bill as part of participating in our program. So we really pride ourselves on giving a hand up versus a hand out. And we believe that is more humane, that is more in dignity than just coddling and treating people like little baby birds. These are human beings that got to where they are in a multiple different ways. And when you start treating people like the human being they are, that they can reach independence, miracles do happen.
Yeah, it really does. I think that there's a lot to be said for accountability and letting people, helping them to make the choices to find healing. You know, we need to support them, but we don't have to just go, well, you're down and out and you're never going to change.
That's right.
Right? And I think a lot of the policies that we have in this country around homelessness are just the idea that, well, they're homeless, they're addicted, that's it.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to just put them in housing and let them stay there and not expect any more.
Yeah, I think that strips them of their psychological drive. You know, as a gainfully employed, housed woman now in my 50s, you know, in sales we say stay hungry. You know, you kind of want that, like, maybe not the best metaphor, and we're talking about people living on the streets, but Seattle does have 8,000 hot meals a day, through Operation Sack Lunch, shout out. So no one ever goes hungry in this beautiful city.
Right.
But, like having that drive to reach another level in their recovery, or,
Right.
when we go out and pick trash with people, we know that for 2 hours, somebody's not going to do as many drugs. And we hear that from people, like, because you guys are here, I did less drugs today. Because you guys are here, I now have gas in my car. I now thought about getting my ID, my birth certificate order. I now see people who have showered, who have a full, set of clothing on, laundered, working, bending over, picking up the trash with each other in community. And that's very empowering and showing that through example, you can have a path out. We will help you. And we really pride ourselves on helping connect people to resources with first and foremost in mind that people can reach independence and to do something for something. I know it's not popular when we think about like housing first, and you shouldn't have to do something for a basic need. And I think that I think it strips people of their psychological drive, and it's basically saying you aren't able to do that. And I just don't think that's the right approach.
Yeah, I think we were created to work and have purpose.
Totally.
And we need to have hope.
Yeah.
And I learned that I used to do some international missions. And when you would go into a country and, let's say, build a hospital for them, when something broke, it would stay broken because they thought that it was yours. You should come back and fix it.
Exactly.
But when you build it with them and train them to, on all of this, it becomes theirs, and they have a pride of ownership in it, that it's theirs, it's not ours.
That's so true, and a great example of stakeholdership, all in this together, working together in community, building community through action. The old teach somebody, to fish, and they're fed for life, right? They're self-sufficient.
Right.
And anybody I know that's in recovery has found a higher power, for sure, whatever that is for them. But also they are, they use terms like sustainable freedom, self-sufficiency, independence, being on their own. And that is the holy grail, being able to not have to rely on so many resources to get by, and teaching people how to get there and showing them through action, through example. And it takes a village. It's not like, here you go, there's how you do it. It's together in action, together in community. I love your program. I love halfway houses, Oxford homes, where once a person exits homelessness on the streets, like the roughest type of homelessness, that you should be in community. You should be living in a house full of other people as you transition and start to learn how to do things again, like laundry and shower and grocery shop. And why I believe in those programs are a next step. It's not from the street to a house.
Right.
There has to be a transition.
Yeah.
I strongly believe in transitional housing.
I remember in my other mission, there was one guy that we just could not get him to make his bed and keep his room clean. And I'm like, dude, listen, someday you're going to have your own apartment, and your little boy is going to come and he's, you're going to have him at your place sometimes. What is he going to see when he comes into your apartment? Are you going to keep it clean? Because if you don't now, you're not going to then. And he kind of looked at me and went, oh, yeah. And he started to do better. And I think just helping them to understand why sometimes. And that's what we do. We teach people to, starting in the mission, to have chores and how to keep things clean and live in community and all of those things.
Make your bed every day. That's the basic one, right?
It is, it's the first thing you accomplish all day. I have to say I'm not always great at that.
I always blame my dog. I'm like, I did make my bed, and now my dog just went and ruffled it all up.
I don't have a dog. I can't blame it. So, is there anything that you've learned in this that you've changed your mind on since you started, where you thought a certain thing and you got started and went, oh, no, I was wrong?
Gosh, that's a really great question. I started out, again, needles were everywhere, trash. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know that everybody can be an outreach worker. That's my mantra, my message to that question, my answer to that question is I knew I could pick up the trash. I knew I could make a difference by picking up that scatter, those needles, working with people in parks to keep their area clean. But what I did not realize is that you don't need a piece of paperwork to care.
Yeah.
And that now I have a relationship with somebody and I have a phone. I can help broker that resource. And there are an army of capable people that can come out and lend a helping hand on the streets, in the parks, in the missions, in the transitional houses to get involved and volunteer. And that volunteerism in your favorite backyard charity of choice that's out there helping to improve a person's life. Anybody who has a heart can be an outreach worker.
Yeah.
That is what I did not set out to think that I would ever be a organization that is establishing ourselves as a human services organization that brokers resources, that provides continuation of care, that finds housing, finds jobs, drives people to detox, gets a ticket home back to family, runs them to an errand, a doctor appointment, a court appointment. Anybody can get involved and help another human being.
Yeah. It's really about getting in relationship with people. But I also tell people, don't try to reinvent the wheel. To be honest, I'm not sure we need more nonprofits in our country. New, yours is a great one and yours is really new. And so, but we don't necessarily need that. We need support for the nonprofits that are doing great work so that, because we know what we're doing, and come and join us.
That's right.
Yeah, just I'll
go to
stop
your pantry, go to a day center, go to a church, a feeding, look at your local, event center, what's going on, is there a litter pick, and absolutely join one of your favorite organizations and get hands-on, boots on the ground, hands and feet with the crisis, and you will get addicted to that daily difference you can make in a person's life.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, maybe you do that and you see a gap and you go, that's what I'm called to, and you do start a nonprofit. That's great.
A niche, niche.
That's great. But get trained. Figure it out. Like, go volunteer. Go work for somebody. We have jobs open, but go find out what's happening. And then if you see a hole, you can go ahead and do it. So what else do you want to share?
We have a little fan club behind us, by the way.
Do we? Okay.
Thank you for having me. We heart Seattle. We heart all communities, and anybody can get out and lend a helping hand and volunteer. That's my mantra. Our other arm of our organization is civic engagement. Yeah. Who's your council member? Who's your mayor? Who are your legislators? Who are your senators? Who are writing, passing, amending, repealing law that affect your backyard? There's a lot of federal, national attention happening right now with our inauguration on Monday, but I will tell you what, the best way you can make a daily difference in your backyard is to get involved with your local city hall. Show up to a meeting, hold a town hall, get to know who those folks are, because they will listen. They want to appease their constituents. And something to answer your question again earlier, I never thought in a million years I would be, in fact, I ran for office this last session to be a legislator. I just never thought in a million years I would be in this space by starting out to pick up trash.
Yeah, right.
And so that's how you how you vote for the backyard you want, is to volunteer and to get out there and get to know your local politicians and elected leaders.
Don't just complain. Nobody else hears it.
No complaint.
You gotta go and talk to the right people and get involved.
See something, do something, for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
And thank you for your time, Kim.
Thank you.
And,
thanks for being here.
Get you going to your next session.
Yeah.